welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something fascinating using your sources, the Mayan pantheon. It's incredibly rich and complex.
It really is.
And our goal here is to pull out the key insights, the most important bits of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts about these gods and what they tell us about the Mayan worldview, basically giving you a shortcut to being really clued in.
Exactly, because it's not just about listing gods, it's about understanding how they fit into the whole fabric of Mayan life and thought.
Right.
And I think the place to start has to be Itzamna. He's often called the grand creator, the cosmic architect. Looking at the sources, what really jumps out about his role?
Well, first thing is just how big his role is.
Yeah.
He's not just a creator. He's the architect, the one keeping cosmic order.
Mm.
It makes you think, how exactly did they picture him, shaping the world out of chaos?
Well, his contributions in the myths are huge. He's the one credited with actually forming the world, making the mountains, the rivers, the valleys, all living things.
Wow.
And crucially, separating heaven from earth, setting up the basic structure of everything.
Okay.
But it's more than just the physical stuff. He also set down the laws, both natural and spiritual, making sure the cycle of life and death kept going.
Ah, see.
So it kind of tells you they didn't just see creation as a one-off thing,
Okay.
It was more like setting up this whole really complex, smart system, an intelligent order.
So his influence didn't just stop after the initial creation. It kept going.
Oh, absolutely. He's credited with something massive, introducing writing to the Maya.
Writing. That's fundamental.
It really is. It meant they could preserve their knowledge, their rituals, their religious teachings, everything. And he was also their patron for things like astrology, medicine too.
Oh, interesting. So guiding priests.
Yeah, guiding priests in reading the stars and helping healers protect the community. It shows a god who's really involved with intelligence, wisdom, and using that knowledge for, the good of society.
And he wasn't alone in this, right? His wife, Ixchel, the moon goddess. What did their partnership represent?
Right, Ixchel. Their union is incredibly symbolic. Together, they really embody that essential balance, masculine and feminine forces working together.
Okay.
Not just in the act of creation, but also in healing, in sustaining life. It's a really complete picture, these complementary forces.
So Itzamna brings the order, the light.
Yeah.
But the Maya also clearly recognize power in, the opposite. In darkness, maybe? Which brings us to Awilix.
Yeah, Awilix, the warrior moon goddess, she represents something different, the strategic power of darkness.
How did they picture her? What was her domain?
She's usually shown as this beautiful woman adorned with silver things, lunar ornaments, and often with a jaguar.
A jaguar, okay. Power and stealth.
Exactly. That's the symbolism. Her areas are the night, moonlight, hunting, and also warfare. What's really interesting is that she's not just about night itself, but about using the night strategically.
So darkness isn't just an absence of light, it's a tool. What kind of worship did she receive?
Precisely. She was seen as a protector, a guide, especially for hunts or battles that happened at night. It shows how they saw darkness as something you could use strategically, not just something to be afraid of.
Makes sense.
And her worship involved rituals at night, warrior dances, offerings specifically asking for protection in battle. She really represents this very practical understanding of their whole environment, including the shadows.
Okay, so navigating the light in the strategic dark.
Yeah.
But then there's the deep unknown, the underworld. And that brings us to Camazotz, the bat god.
Yes, Camazotz. He's a powerful symbol of darkness, definitely, but also death, and maybe most importantly, the fear of the unknown. He's a pretty formidable figure.
Sounds like it.
His presence in the underworld, Xibalba, suggests that the Maya really understood that real transformation often means facing your deepest fears, going through them.
And he has a big part in the Popol Vuh, their big creation story, doesn't he? The hero twins.
A huge part. He shows up as this really deadly challenge for the twins, Hun Hunahpú and Xbalanque, when they have to go through the terrifying bat house.
Right, I remember that part.
Yeah, it really highlights his power and just how dangerous Xibalba was. He's seen as a guardian of that realm, but also a god connected to sacrifice. He represents death not just as, sheer terror, but also as a kind of spiritual transformation.
That idea, death is transformation. It connects nicely to the next figure, doesn't it? Hun Hunahpú, the god of the sacred ball game. His story seems key to understanding their views on life, death, rebirth.
Oh, absolutely central. Hun Hunahpú, he was a master player of the ball game. And his myth is, well, it's fundamental. He gets killed by the lords of Xibalba.
Right, down in the underworld.
Exactly. But this is where the Mayan view of cycles really shines. His severed head, through magic, impregnates a goddess, and from that union come the hero twins.
Wow. So his death isn't the end at all. It actually leads to new life, heroic life even.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the ball game itself?
It ties directly into those core themes: life, death, rebirth. They're everywhere in Mayan thought. The ball game wasn't just, a sport. It was like a ritual reenactment of these cosmic
It's a
struggles,
symbolic thing.
a profoundly symbolic dance between creation, destruction, life, the underworld. It showed them, I think, that even when you face death, something new can emerge from it.
Okay, that's a powerful cycle. Now, let's shift gears a bit to someone whose importance for just, well, daily survival seems massive. Chaac, the rain god.
Oh, Chaac, absolutely critical. He was the one who brought the rain, and that meant everything for agriculture, especially for maize.
Maize, their sacred food.
Exactly. Their very sustenance. No Chaac, no rain meant potential disaster. His arrival meant survival, growth, prosperity. Hugely important.
How did they see his power? What were his symbols?
He often carried an axe that represented thunder, his power to split the clouds,
Yeah.
and frogs. Frogs were strongly associated with them. They were like omens of fertility and especially of rain coming.
Right, you hear the frogs, you know rain might be on the way.
Exactly. You knew Chaac's life-giving power was close.
And to encourage that rain, they had specific sacred places.
Yes. Places like cenotes, those natural wells or sinkholes you find there, they were seen as like portals to the spirit world.
Portals.
Yeah. And they were major sites for making offerings to Chaac, including sometimes sacrifices specifically to ensure the rains would come. It shows that really direct link they felt between their actions and what nature provided.
A very direct relationship.
Oh.
Okay, so we've covered creation, strategy, the underworld, rebirth, life-giving rain. Which brings us to the final transition. Death itself. Ah Puch.
Ah Puch, yeah. The god of death and the ruler of Mitnal.
Mitnal. What's Mitnal?
Mitnal is the deepest, darkest part of Xibalba, the underworld. It's where souls apparently face trials to figure out their fate.
Sounds grim. How do they picture Ah Puch?
Usually pretty starkly. Corpse-like, skeletal features adorned with bones, skulls, very much the image of death.
A powerful image, definitely. But was his role just about, ending things?
No, not quite. Like Camazotz, he represents a transition. His job was overseeing death, but not as a final stop, more as a crucial part of the cycle.
Ah, the cycle again?
Exactly. He ensured balance in that life-death cycle. He embodied their understanding that death is integral to the whole process, a necessary step before rebirth or renewal could happen.
Yeah.
Even in death, there's a purpose in the cosmic order he oversees.
So we've looked at Itzamna the architect,
Yeah.
Awilix the strategist, Camazotz facing the unknown, Hun Hunahpú in rebirth, Chaac the life-bringer, and Ah Puch managing the transition of death. Stepping back now, what are the big unifying ideas weaving through all of this? What defines this Mayan worldview they represent?
Well, I think one of the most powerful themes is this profound sense of balance, especially between creation and destruction.
Right, it seems like every god has aspects of both.
Almost all of them, yeah. Even the good ones have power that involves breaking things down to build something new. Then there's that constant interplay of masculine and feminine forces like we saw with Itzamna and Ixchel. It's a very holistic view of power. And just woven through absolutely everything are those life and death cycles. Death is never just an endpoint. It's always, always a transformation leading to something else.
So it's much more than just like a list of deities. It's a whole system for understanding reality.
Precisely. Each god connects to tangible things like rain or night, but also to deep spiritual truths. It creates this completely interconnected worldview.
Where everything fits together.
Yeah, human survival, nature, the cosmos, the gods, it's all linked. It means everything from, the crops growing to the journey of your soul after you die. It's all part of one huge unified system, a delicate balance they were always trying to understand and maybe maintain.
This whole deep dive looking at Itzamna, Awilix, Camazotz, Hun Hunahpú, Chaac, Ah Puch, it really paints this incredible picture of a world where, well, everything is connected. Creation, destruction, life, death, light, shadow. It all seems intertwined.
It really does. It's a mirror of their natural world and their spiritual understanding woven tightly together.
And these ancient beliefs, they feel like they offer this, this powerful way to think about themes that are still relevant balance, transformation, our own connection to the natural world.
Absolutely. It wasn't just mythology for them. It was like their operating manual for reality, a guide to existence.
Which leaves us and leads you, our listener, with something to think about. What could these ancient cycles, creation, destruction, rebirth, what might they teach us about the rhythms in our own lives, our own societies, even today?